get you some. Oh, yeah. Mate, it's lucky she can cook. Wow! G'day, lovelies. Welcome back. Alrighty, are you ready for this one? Boozy strawberry trifle. Now, the original recipe come out of a Coles magazine, and this is my version. 500 grams of lady fingers. Now, if you've never bought these before, they're in the bakery section, so where your bread is, you'll find cakes and biscuits and your tart bases, and these will be there as well. This is my really old dish. I've had it for like 20 years, and it is 3.5 litres. Now, I'll write the recipe and the directions all down below for you in the description to make it easy as well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need is 500 grams of frozen strawberries. And the first thing we do before we do anything else is we pull them out to thaw out. Alright, now for the booze, also known as alcohol. Okay, so I've got this jam donut cream. Apparently it tastes exactly like jam cream donuts. It's from Bacchus or Bacchus, however you want to say it. Now, I got it for $13.50 at the Celebrations bottle shop. I think Tandy said she got hers from Dan Murphy's and maybe a little bit cheaper. So you can get it at a lot of different places. Anything over 25 degrees, you want to store it in the fridge because it is made from cream. Now I'm going to be using almond flakes and some white chocolate melts. Alright, while the frozen strawberries are melting, we can do a lot of other stuff and get everything else ready. So the first thing we need is we need 500 grams of fresh strawberries. So these are 250 gram punnets. And then we need some extra strawberries for on top. Now, I paid $6 a punnet, which is absolutely ridiculous. But I really want to make this for you before Christmas. So around Christmas time, you should definitely get them a lot cheaper than that. So the ones I'm going to have for the top, I'll leave until I do the top and work out how I want to do them. And with the other 500 grams of strawberries. Now I've got 2 bowls out because one punnet, 250 grams, is going to be one layer, and then the other punnet, 250 grams, is going to be a different layer. So rather than trying to halve it all later, I'm just going to put this punnet in one bowl and that punnet in the other bowl, and it's easy. I've got my 2 layers. So you just want to cut the end off. These are the biggest strawberries I think I've freaking ever seen. Alright, and then we just want to cut them into thin slices. Like so. Doesn't matter the size of the strawberries. That's just crazy. Alright, and cut them all thin like that and stick them in the bowls. Once they're done, wrap them in Glad Wrap and stick them in the fridge till we need them. Alright, so we just want to get our chocolate ready now. Now, I'm just going to chuck a bit in. And if I need more, you just add more. You're better off having to add it because you can't take it out. So what I've done is I've put it into a heat-proof bowl, and I've got a little saucepan that it sits in, probably too far in this one, but anyway, it sits in there. So what we're going to do when we're ready to melt it down is I'm going to put my kettle on, pour the boiling water in there, make sure it doesn't actually touch the bottom, and leave it sit there to melt down. So when I say to you after, alright, whack your kettle on and melt your chocolate, you know what I'm talking about. Now for the next step, we're going to need 700 grams of strawberry yogurt. So this is a kilo tub, so I'll just leave a bit at the bottom and use the rest. We're going to need 600 ml of thickened cream. Now we need a 250 gram spreadable cream cheese. I only got the light one because that's all they had. We need 1/3 cup of icing sugar. I think it's also known as powdered sugar. And we need our jam donut cream. Alrighty, into a large bowl, we need our 600 ml of thickened cream. Our 700 grams of strawberry yogurt. We want to add only half of the icing sugar, half of the 1/3 cup, and then save the other half for after. Our 250 grams of spreadable cream cheese, and 1/4 cup of our alcohol. Now we want to get out our electric beater and we want to beat it up. So I beat it on a couple of minutes for low first to get the cream cheese through, and then I turned it up a couple and beat it for about another 5 minutes so you get it nice and thick like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is wrap it and put it in the fridge till we need it and clean up this mess. Into a blender, we want to put our 500 grams of frozen strawberries thawed. Alright, well they're still thawing out, so maybe when you get them out the freezer, put them in there ready to go and they'll probably thaw out a little bit quicker. Now if you don't have a blender, put them in a big bowl and use a potato masher and mash them all down. Now when we're ready to go, we want to put the other half of the 1/3 cup of icing sugar in there. And now we just want to blend the crap out of it when they're thawed out. Alright, so while they're still thawing out, I'm going to get my bickies. Now, because we're using a creamed liqueur, we're going to be doing it a little bit different way than what you would just using a liqueur. So we want to get our beautiful lady fingers and we want to cut them in half. Okay, and we want to cut them all in half and stick them in something big. Once they're done, set them aside. Now my strawberries are thawed, so I'm going to blend them up. Alrighty, now that's finally done. So definitely thaw your strawberries really well first before you do that. Alright, I'm going to stick it into a smaller jug just to make it easier. And I'm going to bang the kettle on and start melting down the chocolate. Now for the fun part, putting it together. Okay, while the chocolate's melting down, we can start. So the first thing we want to do is we want to put a layer of the bickies down. Now we want to have the sugar side up and we want to have the cut side facing outwards. Now I'm really sorry about the lighting that. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, and I've got all the cut halves facing outwards. Now we want to get 1/4 cup of our alcohol. Alright, so I've got 1/4 cup in here. I'm going to use a teaspoon measurement and I'm going to just drizzle it all over them. Okay, so we've only used like a tiny little bit out the top so far. Now we're going to get some of our melted white chocolate. Alright, I'm going to put it in a little tablespoon measurement and I'm just going to drizzle that over the top of them. Not a lot. So pretty much 1 tablespoon drizzled over. Then I'm going to get some of the flaked almonds and I'm going to sprinkle them over the top. A little as many as you like. Now we're going to put our second layer on. Same thing, sugar up the top, cut bits on the outside. We sprinkle more of our alcohol in. This time we want to go down to the halfway mark. Okay, once we've used about half, I hope you can see, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get it close enough so you can see in. Another tablespoon of our melted chocolate. Another layer of our almonds. Oh my god, this is so much fun. It might be a little bit of work and it might cost a lot of money, but when you see your whole family eating it, it is a special occasion. So now we want to get our first lot of sliced strawberries and we want to lay them on the bottom. So what I'm going to do first is get a few of the smaller ones and set them around the side a bit, so we kind of do a little, I don't know, a little pretty pattern around the side hopefully. Okay, so once we've built that pretty little wall around the outside, then we can just fill it all in with the rest of them. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So we decided, because of all this crap going on and the Pollies are going to probably stuff everything for us anyway, I've decided that we're not going to go away. We're going to spend that on money, on really nice food for Christmas, and we're going to have it at home. And the rest of the money I'm going to spend on all the stuff I still need for camping. So when it's finally time we can get out, I can get out and stay out for a while and have everything I need. Dad always says, oh, you got everything but the kitchen sink. I won't be able to say that this time. Now we get our cream mixture out and we want to put half of it in there. Alright, now we want to put half of our strawberry puree on. So I'll put it in a smaller jug and it come up to 2 cups. So I'm going to spread a cup of it on there now. And I'm going to start by going around the edges first. We've done that, the cup's in there. Now we want to layer our next load of biscuits. This time we want to put the sugar face down. Alright, once we've got that layer in there, we now want to do just a little bit of our alcohol again. Our tablespoon of melted chocolate. Almonds. This time gap it out a bit so we've got plenty of room for everything to fall through. Alright, so don't fill the middle in, just the outside ones. Then we want the rest of the alcohol on them. Now we want to get our strawberries and we want to fill in the middle and fill in between the gaps. Now I'm going to drizzle chocolate. A little bit more this time, probably 2 tablespoons. Almonds. Our cream mixture, push it around because we want it to go near the edge. Don't push it right up to the edge, let it fall into the edge itself. Now you cut up your strawberries any way you want to decorate it. Alright, so I've already washed them all. So look at the size of that. I don't even know if you can see that from there. That is just absolutely ridiculous. Like that's half of them. Oh, look at it. So because I can and because it's huge, I'm going to stick that one in the middle. That is just massive. I love shit like that. And then I'm going to cut some huge ones in half and just stick them over it. Maybe in some sort of a formy shape. Alright, now I'm going to get the puree and I'm going to drizzle that all over. Sort of see how I'm doing it and sort of shape things or whatever you want to. Sprinkle it with some almonds. Get some of the melted chocolate. Start over it away from a thing so you don't get a big dob on it. Try and get it in the white first. Boom! Masterpiece! Alright, I'm going to stick it in the fridge like that for about 20 minutes until the chocolate's all set on, the strawberries and that. And then I'm going to wrap it in some Glad wrap and I'm going to stick it back in there. I reckon a couple of hours to let it do its thing. Alright, it's a couple of hours later. Now, you can absolutely eat it now or you can leave it until the next day. The longer it's in there, I reckon the better it tastes. So I could cut a bit out now and put a big pile of mess in a bowl and try it and tell you how beautiful it is. Or I could take it across to my neighbours because Harley doesn't eat strawberries and I made Bailey a little one without the alcohol. So I'm going to take it across to my neighbours. So there's 3 in the household. There's an elderly couple and one of their mums. So they're very mature and they've eaten a lot in their lives and they've learnt lately, to be very honest with me. So I'm going to take it across to them. They'll get their whole family to come round and then I'll go over there later on tonight or in the morning and see what they all thought. Alrighty, the verdict is in and everybody absolutely loved it. My granddaughter loved hers. I love my granddaughters. Just luscious between those strawberries and that puree, and once you've had it in the fridge for at least 4 hours, or like I said, it's even better the next day. That cream cheese with the yogurt and that, it settles the yogurt right down and it's just got this absolutely amazing taste to it. A little bit of a crunch from the, you know, white chocolate and the almonds and oh, thank you guys so much for watching. Buy it in bits and pieces, get all the things that you can keep in your cupboard for now and grab the fresh stuff right at the end. Have yourselves an awesome night and I'll see you soon with another cracker.